Thank you all who send in questions for the Friday Q&A. Remember, I do Q&As every Tuesday and Friday on this channel. Description box down below with all the details on how you can get your questions answered by me. Francis Ward asks, will we ever see Vacant get another title run in the near future? A year and a half from now, I think Vacant will be holding the U.S. title, so don't worry, man. Don't worry, Francis. Vacant will get his at the end of the day. He's one of the most decorated champions in all of professional wrestling. Francis Ward also asks, who do you think made the most memorable debut in WWE history? Ooh, WWE history. Probably Jericho. You know, he's like my favorite debut, so I always remember it too, because he went one-on-one with The Rock in a promo, so that was always cool for me as a Jericho fan, so probably Jericho for me. Largest 85 asks, what did you think of Umaga versus Cena feud from late 2006 and their match at Royal Rumble 2007? It made sense because Cena needed to face a monster that he could overcome. I just didn't like their match at Royal Rumble 7. Match standpoint, if you're looking at it, not looking at the story, not looking at what led after it, good match. But overall, it was stupid. Umaga should have won. I mean, seriously, you could have had Umaga hold the title for 1 month. What? Well, it's a big deal if Umaga holds the title for one flipping month. At least it gets him a title reign and makes him look legit. So what? Cena wins it back at the end of the day. Who cares? At least you establish Umaga as a monster. It's just a character that the WWE ruined because they had to feed into the John Cena machine at the time. And hey, that was during the reign of terror of John Cena. That was definitely during the reign of terror. Largest 85 also asked, would you like to see Seth Rollins cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase at WrestleMania? Would that be cool or no? No, it'd be stupid. It would be so dumb to have Seth Rollins cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase, especially if you're going to have Roman Reigns beat Brock Lesnar. I mean, just put it this way, Largest. Roman Reigns goes through a 20-minute match with Brock Lesnar, and then Seth Rollins beats him in under 2 minutes. And yes, we could say, well, Roman Reigns is tired chase, but still, he beats Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar. That guy's a beast. Brock Lesnar's a monster that the WWE's booking right now. And if Roman Reigns can beat Brock Lesnar after a 20-minute war, he should have no problem saying, Seth Rollins, Superman punch. Seriously, no. Seth Rollins cashing at WrestleMania would be bad for him. I would say that you would have either Seth Rollins cash in soon and have him fail against Lesnar, or you have him cash in during Roman Reigns' first title run. That's the only time I see Seth Rollins cashing in. James Forkham asks, should Triple H have ended the streak at WrestleMania 28? Hell no. And Taker and Triple H both never wrestled again? Oh yeah, the match was called End of an Era. Taker and Triple H should have both been done after that match, but nah. Nah, they weren't done after that. And especially for Taker, man. You could tell Taker's body was just giving in, and that like he was no longer the same Undertaker like he was in the past. Why are you still wrestling? You don't need to prove anything, Undertaker. You're still a legend. It don't matter. And for Triple H's sake, you know, yeah, it could have been good. Then he could be more of a corporate person. That way he doesn't always have to wrestle a match. Triple H can still go in the ring, and he's still one of the best inside the middle of the ring. There's no doubt about it. But seriously, man, like, he doesn't need to wrestle anymore. Stephen Bradley, my last Q&A before basic training on Tuesday. Everyone in the comment section, if you're watching this video, wish Stephen Bradley luck. He joined the Army. He's going through basic training. I wish you luck, my friend, and hope you come back to us safe. So wish him luck in the comment section, people. I want to see a bunch of good luck to Stephen Bradley comments. Do you think the WWE will be better or worse by the time I come back in December? For you, Stephen Bradley, personally, you will probably think the WWE seems a lot better because you haven't been watching the product for a long time. So you're going to be gone from pretty much September to December. You're going to be gone for that long. So you're not going to see the crap that we're going to be seeing. So you will turn it on and say, wow, this feels better. With the current direction that the company is going right now, and always in December, they always seem to do a lot better afterwards. I would probably say it might be a tad bit better, but not by a whole lot. I don't think it's going to be massively fucking improved, but it'll be a tad bit better and a much more watchable product for sure. Chris Stark asks, what are your thoughts on John Cena's Hurricane Corona? It's garbage. And what is your least favorite finishers of all time? The Wasteland by Wade Barrett. That shit's garbage, man. He just puts it on the shoulder and then goes like this. What the fuck is that shit? The AA is a pretty bad finisher. You know, it's just a simple fireman carry dump. It doesn't look that impactful whatsoever. I don't really have that many least favorite finishers. To be honest with you, I just don't have that many least favorite finishers. Travis Nelson asks, do you think there should be a Raw special events like Impact? Sure. Why not? Most of your pay-per-views feel like glorified Monday Night Raws. Why not? Why not have Raw Battleground or Raw Payback? Why not? Would make sense. The only thing that I would probably say that having a special edition of Monday Night Raw, like kind of like those special impacts is, the only thing that hurts those is that there's going to be commercials in between. That's the only problem with it. You know, during the matches, you know, they always have commercial breaks during the matches. I don't know why. So yeah. But yeah, they should have special edition Raws. That'd be kind of cool. And should Raw feature WWE Championship matches once in a while? No. I don't think they need championship matches. Like, if they only had 4 pay-per-views a year, like let's just say your 4 pay-per-views are Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam, yeah. But, you know, with the current 12 pay-per-view, you know, idea that they have going right now, no. You know, you're going to get that championship match at the pay-per-view anyway, so why waste it on Monday Night Raw? That's just my opinion on that. And James Isabel asks, what do you like to watch on the WWE Network? I like to watch the original programming, Beyond the Ring. I like the Beyond the Ring stuff a lot. Legends House, Total Divas, you know, the usual Countdown. I like watching all that stuff. Early WCW pay-per-views in the 80s, just to catch up on my WCW knowledge. So, yeah, those are kind of the stuff I like watching on the network. And who do you think Sting should wrestle if he does in the WWE? He should wrestle Undertaker. He should. You know, that's still a big match, even with the streak not intact. It's still a big fucking match. Other matches I would personally like to see, him versus Triple H, just because I know Triple H could carry Sting into a good match, and him versus Cena, just because Sting in the early 90s is comparable to Cena today. So, yeah. For all you guys that haven't seen Sting in the early 90s, man, you'll watch that and you'll be like, holy crap, he's just like John Cena. He took out the whole faction by himself? Like, seriously. He was booked like Super Cena back then, Sting. He was like Super Sting. He was the super before Super Cena. It's true, though. Ferris Kennedy 221 asks, what do you think about a commentary team with Ryback, Scott Steiner, and the Iron Sheik? I would watch every wrestling event. That's for sure. At least the commentary would be good. It would be hilarious. No action will be called. It would just them be like Scott Steiner just saying stupid crap, Ryback talking about lifting weights, and Iron Sheik cursing everybody. Oh my god, it'd be amazing. And what did you think about Paul Burchill, pirate gimmick, and his sick entrance? I hated the pirate gimmick by Paul Burchill. I thought he was way more talented to be something else than a fucking pirate. His entrance was sick, I'll give you that. But I just hated that fucking gimmick, man. Like, why would you make a talented wrestler like Paul Burchill into a stupid pirate? Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean's out. We gotta fucking cash in on that. No, fuck that. Seriously, man. Like, yeah, it's a gimmick, it's a character, but it doesn't make sense for Paul Burchill to be a damn pirate. He looks nothing like a pirate. Oh, yeah, he has long hair and a beard. That makes him a pirate all of a sudden. Like, get the fuck out of here. Hated that fucking gimmick, man. It just didn't make sense with me why you would make Paul Burchill a pirate. Did he ever run that in, like, the Independents? Like, why? Final Limits asks, what if Cena had more moves and had the same wrestling skill as a Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, but fans like myself and others hate him as much as we do now? It would turn down the hatred a little bit, but people would still hate him because he's being booked like a monster. It's all down to his booking because, see, people hate Cena more just for how he's booked. And it's like, after you complain about Cena's booking, then you complain about other things about him, what's wrong with him, and why he's not a great person and all that other stuff. So, or a great wrestler. He is a great person. He does all that Make-A-Wish stuff. I mean, a great wrestler. So, like, you just tear it down. But if he had a better moveset, it would help him out a little bit more because at least people would say, yeah, he's booked like a monster, but he can go in the ring. You know, it would help him out, but I still think a lot of people would hate him. And is AJ and Paige flying over the PG limit with their love, lesbian, I love you, and I love you too storyline? No. Hell no. You think this is flying over the PG limit? Hell no. Until they kiss, that's the only time they're going to be flying over the PG limit. This ain't flying over the PG limit. Let me hug you in the middle of the rain. Let me kiss your hand. Like, what? Girls say I love you all the time. You hear girls at school, I love you too. Man, dude, they're not flying over the PG limit. They're still PG. Bubblegum Flavor Storage asks, do you really weigh 200 and something pounds since you said it in your last Q&A, or you're saying it to be cool? No, I do weigh over 200 pounds, man. Just because I look like I don't, believe me, man, you haven't seen me in person. I have a tummy that I've been trying to lose weight on. I was 230 earlier in the year, man. I was 230 earlier in the year. I have a tummy that I'm trying to lose weight on, and I have big legs. So, yeah, I do weigh a lot. I know people won't believe me no matter what I say because I look like a liar, apparently, to a lot of you guys asking the questions, but I do weigh over 200 pounds. It sucks. You know, it's not a healthy 200 pounds, I'll say that. I'm not all jacked up. I don't have a six-pack or everything. You know, it's kind of mostly fat. You know, I have muscle in my arms, but other than that, you know, muscle in my arms and legs, but, you know, chest and stomach area, pretty fat. Which lesbian angle did you like more? Sable and Tori, Tori and Dawn Marie, or Trish and Mickey? Trish and Mickey. Yeah, Trish and Mickey. Sheror Horror asks Q&A, if you can meet any wrestler and spend a day with him/her and have lunch with them, who would it be and what would you talk about? Triple H. And I would ask him questions like backstage politics and how do I bury people and how can I have his ego, and ask him if he made the Performance Center because of Sin Cara. Yeah, that'd be the number one. It'd be fucking Triple H. Could you imagine a dinner with Triple H? Like, holy shit. Then I would ask him if we could do the water spits together. Yeah, so definitely Triple H. What are some of your favorite Randy Orton weird facial expressions? When he was champion during the Age of Orton days, the face, that face. There's one of my favorites is actually also the one where it was a Cena Orton video package before their bragging rights match. You know, where Cena returns at the Royal Rumble. They make it look like Randy Orton's in the ring, and Randy Orton's face is like, whoa! Like, even though Cena was not even in, even though Orton was not even in the middle of the ring, he was wrestling Jeff Hardy earlier that night. But yeah, those are some of my favorites. Lona Low asks, what wrestlers would you not miss if they got released? Curtis Axel, Sin Cara. Those would be the two. And what female wrestlers do you think have the best butt? Naomi, Trish, Mickey, Tori Wilson. Those would be the females that come into mind. You know, like some people would be like, oh, you didn't mention this person's name and that person's name. It's like, look, I'm going based off what I see on TV. I mean, any girl's ass can look good in a good pair of jeans. That's just the bottom line. I'm talking about physically in the ring when I'm looking at these girls, and if I can see their ass pop out and look nice. That's all I'm saying, man. Like, you know, some girls, they look better in street clothes than they do in the wrestling gear. So, just looking at them in the wrestling gear, what they wear, yeah, you know, those four women always got me going. Lino Gino asks, how much do you seriously weigh? You look like you weigh around 195, not 224 pounds. No, I weigh 224 pounds, dog. I know, you're a liar, Chase. You're lying about that. No, I do weigh 224 pounds. It's like I said, I have a tummy. I am also fat. I am not fucking ripped. I'm not muscular whatsoever. You know, I do weigh 224 pounds. And here's the reason why I weigh so much is because, you know, back in junior year in my high school, I was like 200 pounds, you know, mostly fat when entering my junior season of wrestling. I cut weight to make a weight class, but I decided to lose a lot of weight doing so. And then afterwards, I weighed about 170 pounds. And then I replaced that 170 pounds, and I was building muscle during my junior year, heading into my senior year of football. And so I weighed 192. And the thing is, when you're working out like an athlete and you're eating like an athlete, when you stop doing that certain sport, you start still eating like you're an athlete. And sometimes you don't work out like you're still an athlete. So I still sometimes eat like I'm an athlete, like feeling like, oh, I'm invincible. I can eat this. I can eat that. It doesn't matter because I work out a lot. You know, I work out 3 days a week. But when I was, you know, working out for school, being a football player and stuff and being a wrestler, 7 days a week I was working out. I was working out almost every fucking day. So really, to be honest, man, it's just that I gained bad weight. That's just the honest truth. I'm a fat ass. I'll be the first to admit it. Most people won't admit that. But I'm fat. I ain't like all that muscular, but I did keep, you know, some of my muscle mass, and I get that all the time. People don't really believe how much I weigh. You're like, really? You don't look fat. You look like you weigh only like 190. I'm like, no, I only weigh 200. And I guarantee you, man, when I lose weight, if I lose weight and I'm weighing 190, and I said, hey, I weigh 190, you're going to say, no, Chase, you weigh 170. Because that's what one of my friends thought, too, when we were doing wrestling practice. Like, you know, he's like, man, Chase, you keep getting skinnier. How much do you weigh now? 160? And I'm like, no, I weigh 190, dog. I just gained a lot of muscle and I replaced my fat with my muscle. So that's where I'm kind of benefit from, you know, working out a lot during high school. was that, like, even when I do gain weight, a lot of people don't think I'm that fat just because it's like, I have good muscle in my arms and good muscle in my legs, where people just say, hey, this guy works out a lot, when really I don't work out as much as I should. So, hey, but you don't have to believe me on it, because apparently I'm just a liar on here. I like messing around with you guys sometimes too. Who do you like more, Riley or Maya from Girl Meets World? Maya, she's more interesting. Nintendo Fanboy 1998 asks, what are some of your favorite dark matches that you have watched that you really enjoyed? Shelton Benjamin versus RVD, No Way Out 2007. That was the best match on the whole fucking card. And what alcoholic beverage that you drank that was really strong? Like, what was the strongest, unless you only drink beer? No, I drink hard alcohol. I prefer hard liquor more than beer. Fireball whiskey. Yeah, that would probably be strong for me. I just don't like the taste that much afterwards. That's what really gets to me. Justin Side asked, do you think Maya should have been the main character in Girl Meets World over Riley, since Maya is more knowing about the world, while Riley's trying to figure out what her purpose is in the world? You just answered your own question, Justin Side. That's why Riley's the main character in Girl Meets World, because she's trying to find her purpose in the world. That's the whole point of the show. Girl Meets World. She's trying to meet the world and understand the world. That's the whole point. So you answered your own question, my good friend. Do you think Riley looks more like Luke Harper than she does AJ Lee? No. Okay. No. What? How do you get a bearded Luke Harper and think he looks like some little 15-year-old Brody Loney asks, which fighting mechanic did you like more? The one in GTA 4 or GTA 5? Oh, and then he wrote a long paragraph of which one he liked more. I would say GTA 4's, but really, to be honest, was the fighting mechanic even matter in those games? Because you're mostly shooting people. It's not like you're going to go fucking fight the cop with your hands. That would be stupid, because he's going to pull out a gun and shoot you. But GTA 4 definitely had a better fighting mechanic. GTA 5, like, I think you said in your long paragraph, like, you punch people and then they're dead. It's like you're the Big Show. So yeah, I agree with that. And what did you think about evading the cops in GTA 4 and GTA 5? With 4 being easy to escape, but the cops in 5 being hard. Which one of the two did you like better and why? Okay, GTA 5's cops, if y'all think those are hard to escape, y'all need to exploit that game more. It is not hard to escape the cops in GTA 5. Find some train tracks, just drive down those. Because once you get on some train tracks, they're like, we can't get this motherfucker. Or, the sewer by the freeway. Oh my god, dude, that's like the easiest place to get rid of the cops, man. Like, seriously, man, the cops are easy to escape in GTA 5. You just need to know how to, like, exploit the game. But I would say GTA 5, because it makes the thrill of the chase so much better. Like, I like it in video games when shit is difficult. I mean, if the shit was easy in video games, why even play the game? I mean, if the video game is so damn easy, that's not fun, for me at least. I like it when I have to, struggle a little bit and I have to learn from my mistakes and to get better at the game. That's the whole point. I mean, that's the whole point of video games, is the challenge behind them. So yeah, I like GTA 5 better. It's like, it's good when you can worry like, oh, I have 1 star. Shit, I better fucking hide from the cops. Instead of like, oh, I have 1 star. I'm just going to keep on fucking driving. It doesn't even matter. They're not going to catch me. So yeah, I would have to say GTA 5. Live Love Watermelon 525 asks, what if Scott Steiner came back to feud with John Cena? How do you think the mic work would be between the two? What would they say to each other? The mic work would be amazing. Because you had Scott Steiner coming out here, and Scott Steiner talking about how, John Cena, you've been in a part of the company for 10 years. You've been the main man for 10 years. The only reason why you've been in company for 10 years and you be the man is because I wasn't here. I wasn't here to kick your ass. The big booty daddy wasn't here to beat you down. And you know what I did? Every time I saw you come out as champion, I flipped the channel. I flipped the channel to TNA Impact Wrestling. Yeah, that's right. I said TNA Impact Wrestling. Shove it down your throats. I flipped the channel to TNA Impact Wrestling and see Bobby Lashley kick people's ass. Now, that's a real man. That's a real champion. And then you would have Cena come out. And Cena would be like, well, Scott, I respect your opinion, but understand this. I'm here for the C Nation. I'm here for everyone else. And I make sure that no one can stop me. And I'll make sure that at Royal Rumble, you and I, when we get down to that ring, we are going to tear it up. Shut up, Cena. It'll just be like that. That would probably be a Cena and Scott Steiner promo. And why does Scott Steiner become so crazy? Remember when he had long hair and was teaming with his brother Rick? He was a normal. Why did he become so crazy after that and after he cut his hair? Scott Steiner's always been crazy. I love Watermelon 525. See, the thing is, go watch those Scott Steiner stuff in WCW, even with the long hair. He was crazy back then. The thing was, Rick was there to make sure Scott wouldn't get the microphone. That's the reason why Rick was with Scott. Everyone knew, okay, Scott, this guy has potential to be a big fucking star once he splits away from Rick. But the problem is Scott could not control himself on the microphone. That was one thing. So if you watch some of the old WCW stuff, you can still see Scott Steiner being crazy, but Rick is there anytime Scott goes over the boundaries. Rick is there to cut him off. And so once he was able to, be a single star, that's when he became crazy. That's when he was able to talk on the microphone by himself. So that's why. He's always been crazy, though. Reginald Dioff asked, when did Large 85 start sending you questions? I don't remember him ever sending you questions. Last week. And what if Scott Steiner cut a promo on Hornswoggle? You see, Hornswoggle, you live underneath the middle of this ring. Well, you know what? I want you to come out of the ring so that way I can grab your fat ass, your little fat ass, and put it into the stands. You're a disgrace to everything I stand for as a professional wrestler. You know why? Because you're little and you're fat. That would be Scott Steiner's promo on fucking Hornswoggle. I know my Scott Steiner impression is not bad, but how he would cut promos, I know how Scott Steiner cuts promos. He would kick Hornswoggle like he was a fucking duck. Pietro Nilton asks, when was the last time you worked out? Did you work out this week? Oh, Wednesday. That was the last time I worked out, so Wednesday, this past Wednesday. I still got to get my workout in tonight for Friday. Ever met any wrestlers at the gym? Nope. I've seen a wrestler at the gym, but never met him, and this is true. So if you guys live in this area, Moore Park, Simi, especially if you live in Simi Valley, you know that they film a lot of movies in Simi Valley. They do. They film a lot of movies in Simi Valley. Simi Valley is a nice little town. You can use it to represent a lot of places that you can't go, and it's cheap to film here. So I remember we went to the Simi Valley at the Simi Valley 24-hour fitness. We went to the Simi Valley 24-hour fitness, and the lady, when me and my friend, when we entered through there, she's like, oh, excuse us, sir. We just want to tell you that, half the gym is kind of closed off. And we're like, oh, okay. And she told us, like, this section right here, that's all you can use. So if you're looking to use those weights, that weight, you won't be able to use them. And I'm like, oh, okay, thanks for the heads up. And we wondered, why is the gym closed off? Are they cleaning your stuff? And then me and my friend, we saw the motherfucking Rock working out. Like, we saw the Rock working out at the gym. And I was like, that's the Rock! And I was like freaking out because I just saw the fucking Rock working out the 24-hour fitness, and he was pumping some mean fucking iron. And there was like caution tape. Like, he had most of the fucking gym to himself, man. I didn't get to meet him, but I did see him work out, and he's fucking massive. And this was like way before the Rock returned back into the WWE in 2011. So this was like Rock like in 2010. And I didn't really see much of him, in 2010. And I just saw him just getting shredded, dog. Like, he was huge. I was so surprised how big he was. Little Fish asked, Q&A, what did you think of the Brian Kendrick's heel turn in 2008 and became the Brian Kendrick and was managed by Big Zeke? I didn't see his heel turn. Did he turn heel on like TV, or did he just come? I thought he just came out as the Brian Kendrick. Like, I didn't know when he turned heel. I don't remember if he backstabbed Paul London or not. But I love the Brian Kendrick. It was definitely funny. He has probably the most memorable fucking fucking title reign of all time. And it wasn't even a legit title reign. It's not even in the history book. Like, people still talk about to this day how he was like, what's that term again? Like, he was interim WWE champion during the Scramble match. Everyone still remembers that to this fucking day. But I did like the Brian Kendrick. I like how he danced. I liked his theme music. The man with the plan. Like, oh, that was some good fucking shit. And was Zeke and Siski's TNA run a failure? Yeah, it was a failure because they were only there for 2 weeks. Fucking stupid TNA. What did you think of Matt Hardy's downward spiral? Oh, John Kunk, that's this question. Back in summer 2011 when he got arrested for a DUI and fake suicide to get a stupid storyline over. That was for a storyline? I thought he was just being crazy back then. Terrible, because I felt bad for Matt Hardy, because I actually liked Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, and both were going through some tough times. So I felt bad. I was worried for his life, in all honesty, but I didn't know it was for a storyline. And which brother was at their lowest in 2011? Matt and Jeff, in your opinion? Ooh, that's a good one. I would have to say Matt, because he lost his job. I mean, Jeff still had a job in TNA. Like, he still had TNA. TNA was going to let him back in with open fucking arms as long as he went to rehab. Matt, they didn't give that opportunity to him. They just kind of, let him loose. They just said, hey, Matt, you're gone. We're done with you. Goodbye. And Matt Hardy was pretty much just left on the wayside. So I would have to say Matt Hardy, man. I would definitely say Matt Hardy. Because Jeff Hardy, like I said, he still had a job no matter what. Randy Bussetti asked, have you ever noticed that Rowan Blanchard, Riley from Girl Meets World, has a lisp? And why does the kid who is in love, her love interest, look like he's 19? They were supposed to be in middle school. I never noticed her lisp. I might have to watch some episodes to, really catch that. And yeah, the dude is actually 19 years old. You actually got that correct on the Lucas, her love interest. He is actually 19 years old, and I believe she's only like she's only like 14 or 15. It's like, yeah, that's kind of weird. Or he's like 18. He's like 17. I know he's fucking up there in age. But yeah, they are supposed to look like they're in middle school. But that's how it is when it comes down to acting. Like, you want to find the person that can play the part perfectly. Say for example, like for me, because I'm a shorter guy. I'm only 5'8". Some people may look at me and say, hey, you look like a high schooler still. And let's just say I try out for a movie or a TV show and they need people to look like they're high schoolers. They would ask me, like, hey, you look like a perfect high schooler. You want to be in this movie? I'd be like, sure. Just because I look like a high schooler. They're just trying to find people that fit the role of what they are trying to find as a love interest for Riley. And what if Riley, Maya, Farco, and Riley's boyfriend traveled back in the time in a time machine to when Corin Topanga and Minkus was kids in the first season of Boy Meets World? How do you think the new generation of kids would react? Dream episode. They'd probably be surprised that there's no cell phones, like how simple things were. Super soakers were actually a thing back then. They would definitely be surprised. I think kids today, like if they got back to the 90s, they'd be totally lost. Like, they would not know what the fuck to do if they lived in the fucking 90s. And I mean dead serious here. They would be so fucking confused. They would not know what to do with their lives. The Gochi Man asked, if Miz don't improve in the ring, then kept his hoorah gimmick from 2006 and was built to Miz to be the top babyface of WWE and got similar booking to John Cena, do fans would really hate the Miz or probably hate him more than Cena? Oh, they would hate him. They would fucking hate him. I think he would be hate more than Cena. I mean, if he was still the hoorah and the fucking stupid Miz, oh, fans would just fucking hate this motherfucker. I think a lot of people would want Cena to freaking beat the shit out of Miz and hopefully end his career. Knowing how harsh you wrestling fans are, I would believe it. Gochi Man asks, at what point in time do you really feel like you hated the WWE and made you feel like you want to stop watching WrestleMania 25? Simple. Triple H, why the fuck did you not put over Orton, you piece of fucking shit? Fuck you. But I still love you. But still, fuck you. Redwolf316 asks, hey Chase, since I've heard you listen to metal, who are some of your favorite metal bands of all time? Ooh. Disturbed. I like Disturbed a lot. Avenged Sevenfold. I don't know I don't know genres, because there's different genres of metal, man. It's like death metal, heavy metal, hardcore emo, screamo, and it's like, dude, just whatever sounds metal to me sounds metal. But Avenged Sevenfold, what's her name? Five Finger Death Punch. Five Finger Death Punch. I fucking love Five Finger Death Punch. Is A Day to Remember metal? Or is it ADTR, A Day to Remember? They're metal, right? Because I'm pretty sure they're fucking metal, because they have the metal sound to it and they do scream in it. So I would say A Day to Remember, Kill Switch, Times of Grace, Death Trophy. Those would be my favorite metal bands. Metallica, the original metal band. But I'm talking about new age metal. I consider Metallica more of a rock than they are metal. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. That's just how I view it. I'm not the most expert in the music world. I totally know that. So, but those would be my favorite metal bands. And who are a few Attitude wrestlers that you want to see become world champion? Funny enough, man, a lot of the Attitude wrestlers that I liked did become world champions. Like Eddie and Benoit, they won their titles in the Ruthless Aggression era. Oh, God. That's hard. I guess Test. I would say Test. Because they were shoving him down our throats. Might as well make him the new champion. Why not? Well, I would have liked it. Joe Juicy. What would your reaction be if John Cena shoved John Cena shot Vince McMahon in the main event segment of Raw. Raw goes up the air just like that. Ah, God, God, dude. Yo, I don't know why. I just read the next sentence like shot Vince McMahon. Oh my God, damn, that would be fucking. God. My reaction would be, God damn, that shit got me. That shit got me caught from surprise because I was reading it and then all of a sudden I said shot and then I saw Vince McMahon and I just was like, what? That'd be fucking crazy. I guess this would be my reaction. I'd be like, really? They're running a fucking storyline where they're trying to make John Cena into a murderer? Okay, sure, why not? I guess that would be my reaction. Jay Walker asks, what did you think of Nicki Minaj's new album with her fake ass? Oh, it's all right. Do you really think WWE is racist against the black wrestlers? Yeah. Yeah. Super fucking racist towards the black wrestlers. The Real Hill asks, what did you think of WWF back in 1997? In my opinion, it's my favorite year of the WWF, and I felt the product was really enjoyable and edgy, even though it was PG. Honestly, man, I didn't get into wrestling until 1998. But from the pay-per-views that I saw in 97, I thought they were pretty solid stuff, really good quality. You know, and if you look at 97, they were building up really good stars for you. I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock was becoming a star, Triple H was becoming a star. So they were doing a really good job building stars there. The Real Hill asked, have you ever thought of doing a movie reviews on your channel? Yeah, kind of. I'm just not familiar with actors. That's just my thing. Like, I just enjoy movies for what they are. And maybe I will one day decide to do movie reviews. Like, I've done a couple movie reviews. I think I've reviewed, like, you know, a couple movies on here. But other than that, I don't know if I want to go into it. I'll definitely review movies that wrestlers are mainly featured in. Like, maybe I'll do a WWE film series reviews on my channel one day, like the Marine 2, and talk about how bad those are. But as for, like, just movies, I don't know. Jake Loomis asks, who is your favorite and least favorite jobber of all time? Favorite jobber? It's hard because I don't want to say Brooklyn Brawler. I didn't really like him all that much. He's not my least favorite jobber though. Funaki. I'll go with Funaki. He was my favorite jobber of all time. And least favorite jobber, Colin Delaney. Fuck him. So garbage. Who does a better cutter, DDP or Randy Orton? By his side of me. Oh, John Cool asked this question. By his side of me says Randy Orton. Sorry. John Cool also asked, what did you think of Brian Pillman? And if Brian Pillman never died, do you think he would have been a huge star during the Attitude Era? I like Brian Pillman. He was definitely a really good wrestler. Underrated. He was an underrated high flyer. He had a really good match with Jushin Thunder Liger that I personally enjoyed. But if he never died, I don't think he would become a huge star. But he'd definitely be one of those guys a lot of fans would get behind. I don't think he'd be like the mega star, you know, The Rock or the Austins, but he'd definitely be in the class with the Jerichos and the Triple H's for sure. And if that is considered to you as a huge star, then yes, he would be a huge star. Josh Chambers asked, what do you think of the segment where Brian Pillman threatened to shoot Stone Cold with with a gun in his house? Pillman's got a gun! Pillman's got a gun! That was fucking good shit. That is a fucking amazing segment, man. That is an amazing fucking segment. I'm sorry, man. Wrestling fans, they don't understand how great that segment was, man. And that shit felt real, especially when Austin was brawling with those people outside the house. Amazing fucking segment, dude. Anyone who hasn't seen that segment, go fucking watch it. Go watch that segment. It's sad that segment didn't really have an end because all we heard was a gunshot from Pillman. But that was just an awesome segment. And you think people in the IWC overrate AJ as being the next Trish Stratus or Lita? Oh, hell yeah. No offense to AJ Lee, okay? AJ Lee, no doubt. Great wrestler. In-ring wise, she's great. But, like, people saying, oh, she's the next Trish, next Lita. Like, Trish and Lita were multi-platform stars. They they were able to do other things besides the WWE. AJ Lee, when I look at her, I'm like saying to myself, she ain't doing something outside of the WWE. Like, once she's done with the WWE, what is AJ Lee going to do outside of the wrestling business? Like, she's always going to be stuck in the wrestling business. That's the thing. Some people don't understand. Like, Trish and Leah, you look at them now, they're still successful outside of the wrestling business. They have other side projects that they can do because they're that big of stars. AJ Lee, she done with WWE. What is she going to do? In my personal opinion, she does get overrated way too much. I think it's just because, after Trish and Lita left, we weren't given good quality women wrestlers. Like, Mickie James was like the only one. And then afterwards, it was just a bunch of models that you would only see for like, 2 years. And it was like, see ya, bye. I got my exposure. I'm out of here. That type of deal. So in all honesty, we were just not given anything good to replace it. Here comes AJ Lee, who's actually good in the ring. And, when you pile shit on for so many fucking years, and then later on you get one glimmer of hope from that pile of shit, you're just saying to yourself, that shit's great. So yeah, I think a lot of people overrate, AJ Lee hugely from her star power standpoint. I mean, is she a big diva star in today's WWE? Absolutely. But if I were to name you a bunch of other divas from the past era of the WWE, like, I guarantee you, if Victoria was much younger and she was able to be in the WWE today, AJ Lee would not have the career that she has. Just saying. Greg Toomer asks, which wrestlers stand out to you as the most overrated in the IWC? Ooh. There's not one right now. I'll be honest with you, Greg. There's not one right now where I don't think one wrestler is being way too overrated by the IWC. Probably Ziggler, but that's more overhype than overrate to me. I don't think there's one right now. I'm pretty sure once, what's his name? It's one of the Red Dragon guys, if you know her name. Bobby Fish or Kyle O'Reilly. I think it's Kyle O'Reilly. I think once O'Reilly gets into the scene, I think that's the one wrestler I think a lot of people will overrate if he ever makes it to the WWE. Guy's good, but not that great, man. But I think that's the guy that right now, currently, the IWC, a lot of people are really, really high on and kind of overrating, because I've seen a lot of O'Reilly matches, just to see if this kid was any good. And I just said, hey, man, he's just like everyone else. He's like Daniel Bryan. I don't see what makes this guy a lot better than Daniel Bryan. So that's just me. I think that's the one wrestler that stands out to most that's being overrated by the IWC outside of the WWE. Greg Toomer also asked, do you think it sucks that WWE dropped the New Nation faction? Because I was really felt that their stables had a lot of potential. Yeah, it does suck. That stable had a lot of potential, but it was just that, the WWE, they just didn't know what to do with it. And like I said in the last Q&A, it was a knee-jerk fucking reaction to the Atlantic Post. Mr. Juicy asks, what do you think of Lil Wayne's guitar skills? I personally think he's... You guys are on fire today. What do I think of Lil Wayne's guitar skills? You answered the question, man. It's terrible, man. Like, oh my god, dude. Lil Wayne, Wheezy, your raps are not that great. You shouldn't be trying to play the guitar. Mr. Juicy also asks, what would you do if your dog actually ate your homework and your homework was due the next day? Redo it. That's what I'd probably do. And Reed19 ends it off with, if Scott Steiner was in the WWE as a manager, which superstar would you have him manage and why? Big E. Could you imagine Big E with Scott Steiner? Big E can't really cut a promo to save his life. You have Scott Steiner building up Black Muscle. Yeah, baby, Big E. And what if Scott Steiner had his own show where he was trained fat asses to lose weight? Pigs. If Scott Steiner... I can't. That's it for this edition of the Q&A. I would watch that show. Scott Steiner having his own show where he trains. Man, it's yes. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.